This week, we had the goal of setting up and photographing a new midterm rental property in 72 hours.
It's the tightest timeline we've ever had for this big of a project, and we're going to take you through the whole process from start to finish.
If you've ever done a vacation rental setup and you know how big of a job that is, go ahead and hit that like button for solidarity and let's get started.
It's hard work.
Earlier this year, we had a potential new client reach out to us about managing their midterm rental property.
The owners had already completed a pretty big renovation project with their focus being on the kitchen and the living area.
They had also started to do the furnishing themselves, but got to a point where they were just ready to be done and pass it off to someone else to finish.
This is a pretty common thing where clients will tackle the entire setup themselves, and especially when there's a big renovation involved, they kind of just reach a point where they're done with it and then they call us.
You may have seen a video that we shared earlier this year about a client setup project, which was a very similar scenario to this one. And we'll link that video at the end of this one if you want to watch it next.
Even though these clients had done a big portion of the setup themselves, we still started this like we would any other full setup project from scratch.
That meant a walkthrough with photos and videos so that we can work on a basic list of recommendations and also give the client a general budget.
This first round of approvals is just to kind of set expectations and make sure we're on the same page as the client when it comes to the scope of work and the cost.
And so that we aren't creating an entire design proposal just for the client to say, oh, that's too expensive. Never mind, we don't need your work.
And then they'd also have a copy of that design proposal and all that work for free.
Not for free, I can't.
So before we send over a formal proposal, we always make sure that we're on the same page as far as scope and cost, and also that we have a signed management agreement.
With these clients, they gave the approval for the scope of work and the cost, so we got to work on the detailed proposal.
This all took place back in May, and the clients told us that they wouldn't be ready for us to get started on site until mid to late July. So we didn't get started on the proposal right away, but we did work on it slowly over the next month or so.
If you follow us on Instagram or you've seen some of our recent YouTube videos, then you probably know we bought a house in Iowa last summer using seller finance, and we've been spending our summer there on the acreage enjoying the time with our kids.
So doing this client project was going to mean that we'd have to take a flight back to California, but it also was a good time for us to check in on the properties in the rest of our portfolio because we have been gone for about 6 weeks.
We didn't just fully desert our property management business or have it running on autopilot. That doesn't work. We have a full-time employee here who has been holding down things and doing all the on-site work.
So yeah, she's been here holding down the fort, doing things like inspections and maintenance and restocking. And then we've been handling everything that we can do remotely back in Iowa.
Earlier this month, we finalized that proposal, sent it off and got approval from the client, and then collected a deposit, which is part of our setup fee.
Once we had approval, we got started right away on purchases, and it lined up perfectly with Prime Day. So we were able to get good deals for this client on things like linens and rugs and lighting.
Unfortunately, Prime Day is passed, but you can still shop all the rooms here, and we'll leave a link to that in the description box below.
So we made all the purchases and then had all of the packages shipped here to our house in California with the hopes that we would be able to have everything here on site to take over there as soon as we arrived in town.
It's been a busy few days. We got here on Monday night. Now it's Friday and we're leaving this afternoon.
So just like busy, busy, busy.
The 2 travel days on Monday and today on Friday really only left us with 3 full days to get everything over to the property, unbox it all, install it all, have it cleaned, photograph it.
Check on our other properties.
And check on all the other properties.
That we wanted to check and then leave. And we do this for a living. We've done dozens of whole home setups, but even this was a bit of a challenge for us to take on.
Especially because part of the scope of work for this project included installing all new faucets in the bathrooms and light fixtures in every room as well.
So when we got here late on Monday, we sorted through, opened up all the Amazon boxes, kind of made a game plan for the next day.
And Tuesday morning, we loaded up 2 car loads worth of inventory items and hauled them over to the property to get started, only to find out that the pool had turned on us.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
We had thought that the clients had a regular pool service. Turns out they didn't. And when you leave a pool unattended in the extreme desert climate, it goes bad pretty quick.
Thankfully, one of our pool guys was able to come over right away and get started on treating and cleaning it. And within a few hours, it was already starting to look so much better.
Inside, the process started out pretty smoothly. We started by going room by room and just making sure that we weren't missing anything that we'd forgotten or needed to place an order for.
Which, of course, we did, starting with the kitchen.
The kitchen is really nice and it was already pretty well stocked, but this is going to be a midterm rental and we really like to make sure all those kitchens are fully equipped because those people are going to be cooking every day.
So we cleaned out all of the kitchen cabinets, organized them, and then compared what was already on site to the kitchen section on our sample inventory, which you can access for free by going to arrivals.com/inventory.
We ended up adding a couple specialty electronics like a blender and a slow cooker, and then we also added some baking dishes and pans.
Now the kitchen is both beautiful and also filled with all the comforts of home.
We didn't change anything in the dining area. It already looked great. So did the living room, but we made just a couple small edits there.
First, we moved the living room rug into one of the bedrooms, and we also added a big 7-foot faux tree as well as a plug-in wall sconce.
Moving towards the bedrooms, we added 2 wall hangings in the hallway that leads to the primary bedroom.
In the primary bedroom, they already had the bed and mattress and pillows, and they also had those 2 nightstands, but they had them pushed together on another wall underneath a TV.
So we moved those to either side of the bed, and then we added everything else in this room.
We swapped out the ceiling fan for a pendant light, and then on the nightstands, we added lamps and charging ports and a white noise machine.
We also added some wall decor and a faux plant, which we put by the standing mirror, which the client did provide.
The existing window coverings wouldn't raise up on these windows, so we removed those. There also wasn't anything over the French doors, so we got a set of extra wide blackout curtain panels for this whole section on the wall.
Then we added a washable rug. We put this TV console on the TV wall and also mounted the TV to the wall.
In the primary bathroom, we swapped out the faucets and the light fixture, and we also added some faux plants and wall decor.
Moving on to the second bedroom, the homeowners had the bed, mattress, pillows, and some baby gear, but we added everything else.
We decided to rotate the bed from under the window to the adjacent wall so that we could mount a TV on the wall opposite the bed.
We also swapped the ceiling fan for a pendant light and then replaced the blinds with curtains.
The rug in here is the one that we moved from the living room, and we also brought those 2 bed pillows in from the living room sofa as well. But we did purchase the artwork for above the bed as well as the mirror and plant.
We also added these 2 side tables with plug-in wall sconces and then charging ports and white noise machines.
Then there's a third bedroom, which the client wanted to turn into an office with a daybed. In our market for midterm rentals, even if it's a 3-bedroom house, we're very rarely getting a 6-person occupancy. Most of the time, if it's for a monthly stay, we're getting 2, maybe 4 people. So having that office and a daybed in that third bedroom makes a lot of sense.
They had already purchased the daybed and the mattress, so we just added the side tables and a washable rug. We mounted these plug-in wall sconces that they had bought previously.
And then we swapped out the ceiling fan for a pendant light, and we also swapped out the existing blinds for curtains.
We brought in a desk and a big swivel chair for the other side of the room, and then we added a few decor items to dress up that wall.
Given that we had planned everything out in advance, the installation part of this project went very smoothly until the last day when we just got pulled in way too many directions.
It's just a lot going on.
By the morning of day 3, we really only had patio furniture to assemble. That was some chaise lounges and some Adirondack chairs for around the fire pit.
Remember that we had to also photograph on day 3 and the house was filthy, so the cleaning crew had to come in the morning and they were just kind of working around us while we were assembling in the living room because it was way too hot to be putting together chairs outside.
Eventually, we kind of took a break to get out of their way. We had some other properties to check on, and then we also got a last-minute booking at Base Camp 74 for same-day check-in for a month. So I had to go shop for some supplies, run up there, check and stock that.
And I was left with the heavy Adirondack chairs, which were a test of my patience, but I eventually got them all done.
So in the patio, we bought this outdoor dining set, a fire pit with 4 Adirondack chairs, and then by the pool, we put 2 chaise lounges with a small table between.
Oh, and a barbecue.
Yep, we'll link that and all the products we used in this house in a blog post, which we'll link in the description below.
If you're in the market for a fire pit, we really found an unexpected gem with this one.
Yeah, we kind of decided to add this at the last minute. We asked the client, got approval. So we had to find one locally that we could get right away. We found this one for $150. It's big, sturdy, nicely made.
The store manager thought that I was insane for looking for and buying a fire pit in the middle of July when it was 117 degrees outside. They had to like get it down with a forklift from the top, but it's a good one.
Not many people wanting to sit around a fire pit in this weather.
So hot.
Once the cleaning team was finished, Kylie got to work on all the photos.
We have a very nice camera that we use for filming YouTube videos and also for taking photos at properties, but I actually send all of the raw images to an editor to be professionally edited.
We've been using the same editor we found on Fiverr like over a year ago, and she's been great.
It saves me a lot of time, and she's also just way better at editing photos than I am. So she only charges about $1 a photo. It's totally worth it.
If you've never used Fiverr before, we recommend it, especially for things like this. We'll leave a link where you can sign up in the description box below, and you get 10% off your first order.
Or you can just go to arrivals.com/Fiverr.
It was a stressful week, but with a lot of advanced planning, we were able to get it done. Also, a few 14-hour days, but this house, start to finish, done in 72 hours, and we're out of here.
Work.
Me too.
We did it!
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you have ideas for videos that you want to see us do, drop those in the comments section below.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.